Hi everybody and welcome. My name is Dawn of Embracing Dawn, and this is a timeless read for Sagittarius. And this reading, I do have to say, is being recorded during the second full moon in 1 month. Very, very powerful. The veil is very, very thin right now, and connection to source is super, super strong. This full moon is also in Taurus, so if you have a moon sign or a rising sign in Taurus, then this will be especially powerful for you. If you come across this during another full moon window, then this will be very powerful for you at that time as well, even more so than usual. Okay, so Sagittarius, we're going to get started with a couple of things. First of all, sorry, my name is Dawn of Embracing Dawn. I don't know if I said that, and thank you for letting me come into your space for a little bit of time today. We're going to draw a divine guidance card that is going to be where we're moving to, so sort of the outcome of the next cycle or the next few weeks. And because this is being recorded, there's too many there, because this is being recorded in a full moon, this is all about what is being released, what is being fulfilled, and where are you moving to within the new cycle, okay? So we're going to pull one of these, then we're going to pull an archetype card to see what kind of pattern of personality that might be at play in this next cycle, either within you or, resonating from, mirroring from someone else that you need to work with or through. Then we'll pull some tarot. So you've got this beautiful card here, 5. Let's take a look at 5. Another sign had that today as well. And this is all about alignment. So those of you that are just starting on your spiritual path, you're coming into an upgrade. Those of you on your spiritual path, you are coming into a full alignment. So this means this is the beginning of a very powerful shift, both spiritually and energetically, Sagittarius. This is a complete connection and alignment of your higher self and your physical self. Sometimes this alignment can cause chaos and confusion, but there's no need to worry or feel alarmed with what is happening in your life right now. Everything is moving into perfect order as your spiritual and physical selves align in perfect balance. Once complete, your daily life will be much more in harmony with your spiritual path. So Sagittarius, regardless of where you are on this path in terms of enlightenment, ascension, spiritual growth, the journey, whether you're just in the beginning or you're well on your way, you are coming into a new phase. And that new phase, it's whenever we hit that a new phase in alignment, things can kind of seem like they're going snaky. They can feel like they're completely upheaved, that nothing makes sense. It can really be frustrating, annoying, lots of triggers coming up, people sort of bringing things up to you that trigger reactions in you, that trigger patterns of behavior in you that you need to work with. It can also leave you feeling restless, feeling directionless, feeling scattered, like there's too much, like hitting you all at once. You could have physical symptoms, like bowel issues, headaches, tightening of the head, ringing in the ears, itchy skin, restless sleep, messages in your sleep, lots of traveling. So it can really seem like it's a toss-up, but it's on purpose because you're integrating your spiritual self, which is such a high vibration, with your physical self, which is very dense. And because we've been ego-driven or led by our egos for so long now, we hold those lowering vibrations of the emotional body, especially inside ourselves of our physical body. And that's super dense. It's very hard to get through, especially for spirit. So this stuff that might be coming up, all this kicking up, all these things that are coming forward that may not even have triggers. Maybe they do, but maybe they're just seeming like they're coming from nowhere. They're not coming from nowhere. They're coming because this portal is very powerful right now. The veil is very thin, and Source has a real opportunity to sort of try and get the messages in and try and lighten up your vibration so that you can integrate more smoothly with your authentic spiritual path and who you are as a spirit in a human body experiencing this life, right? So just take care. It's, you know, it's all going to be okay, but it can seem like a real cluster sometimes. I'm not going to lie, you know. So let's see what archetype is at play for you, Sagittarius, with this full alignment. So this will be where your triggers come up. Okay. Definitely. Look at that. Okay. We might use both of these because they're closely connected. I usually only pick one because they're big concepts, but these two are connected to each other. So perhaps we'll use them both. The first one that comes up is Don Juan. The light attribute spotlights your positive, seductive qualities, you know. The shadow attribute is using the power of romantic attraction for private agendas. So, you know, that would be, I don't know, for example, you know, you're at work and a coworker has something that you need, or you need a favor from them. And in the shadow aspect of this personality type, and this is a personality type we all encounter through our lives at some point, right? It's not one that necessarily stays, but right now you're dealing with the possibility of this coming up, either being presented to you or for you to, that you're embodying. So like I was saying, you know, it could be someone at work you need a favor from, and maybe you'll turn on that sort of seductive charm because you know that they'll respond to that. So you're using that power not for goodness, so to speak, right? And this is all about using it for its authentic nature, using your power of your sexuality and your seduction in an authentic way from, from a space with source. And when we view sexuality and sensuality from the level of spirituality, it takes a whole different focus than the traditional three-dimensional sort of outlook on it. It's a sacred thing, you know, it's a sacred, it's energy, it's an energy exchange, and using that charm, you know, in an authentic way to express yourself is important. You know, it helps with our power, our sense of self, our creativity, all the things. But when it's misused, you know, that lowers the vibration. So be mindful of that, either with people coming to you, presenting you with things that might seem a little too schmoozy. You know, chances are they might be. They might not be fully authentic, you know, but also be mindful of yourself as well, not getting drawn into that. Now, the other one that came up right after it, quite interestingly, is the femme fatale. So the light attributes, highlighting the erotic energy of the feminine, opens your heart when your dependency is rejected. Shadow attribute, inappropriate use of sensuality, attachment to money or power. So this seems to be the masculine and the feminine counterparts in some ways to me. So we're going to keep both of them in your reading, Sagittarius, just because they line up to me. So it must be that they belong together. So highlighting the erotic energy of the feminine, your sensuality, whether you're a male or female or whichever, any identity, it doesn't matter what identity you are. It's the feminine within you, because we all have divine masculine and we all have divine feminine. Divine masculine is that outward, you know, that reaching out energy, and our divine feminine is that receptive energy, the action versus, you know, the emotion, the Mars versus Venus, so to speak. And it's not versing, you know, I'm saying that wrong, because they need to come together in harmony for us to be one complete spirit, you know, one complete person. So this opens up your heart when your dependency is rejected. So that means that, you know, it's that being able to express that feminine receptive side. It's being able to be comfortable within your own sensuality, within your own eroticism, your own attraction, and not and not feeling shut down when someone possibly rejects that about you. You know, that's the light attribute of it. You know, someone is not dependent, or you're not dependent on someone in order for that to be fully achieved. And in its shadow, it's an inappropriate use of that, or an attachment to money or power. So that would mean, you know, for example, I don't know, even with, let's use online dating, for example, you know, people go to these online, go out, meet people through these sites, and sometimes really the motivation is just to use their charm to, you know, have someone buy them dinner, let's say. And I know that's very surfacey, but that's the shadow aspect, or the shadow attribute of this archetype, is someone that would use that sexual, sensual, erotic energy and attraction and charm to hold power over someone or a situation, or just for the benefit of money, not from that authentic heart space. Okay, so that's what you're watching out for, Capricorn, in this, or not Capricorn, Sagittarius, in this full alignment. You're going to be challenged here, or you've been challenged here with this energy at play. Okay, so now we're going to get into some tarot, which is the real meat of the message, although it was a huge message all by itself, really. So let's take a look at what's at play for you, and we're going to take that and see where you're going in the next few weeks or a few months, or whatever this cycle is for you. But this kind of alignment is a big cycle, you know, but things are moving so quickly now within our universe energetically that, you know, the awakenings could be quite quick. All right, so let's get some more cards here. I usually draw 6, but for these readings, universe seems to want more. Spirit seems to want more clarity, so we'll see. So we've got some beginnings here. All right. So you've got some crystal energy, which is pentacles. You've got feathers energy, which is air. And then you've got shells, a little bit of shells energy, which is all around the cups. That would be the emotions, water. So Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces, a little bit. Then we've got the air energy, which is not Aries, Leo, Sag. That is the air energy. Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. And then you've got your Pentacles energy, which is Earth sign, which is you, Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So let's get started. Immediately off the hop, we've got the 5 of Crystals, which is, that would be your Pentacles, persistence and new possibilities. So persistence and new possibilities, this is all around, and in the position it was turned. So you've been pushing towards something, and it could be possible that you've had some pushback, that there's been maybe some minor health issues, some minor conflict with money. This is around conflict, feeling, again, like this is sometimes feeling like you don't belong. But with this deck, it's around new possibilities and persistence. So you haven't seen, although you've looked at new possibilities, you haven't seen them for the gift that they could be with the card in the position that it was in. But then following that, you've got the Knight of Feathers, and that's air. So that's air. I keep saying the wrong signs. That's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius. And this is about action and focus. Now, the Knight is midway. So he is midway between mastery and being a student. You know, this is a masculine energy, but it can represent any identity. Court cards often represent a physical person in your life. So this could represent a person. This could represent you, but it's air sign. So it may be an air sign influence. But this is someone who is very, very assertive, pursuing their goals, very goal-oriented, business-oriented. The key word here with our, it looks like our fox or our coyote, probably more our fox, action and focused. So you're coming into a stage of doing, and you're very focused on whatever this is, this alignment here. you know, and it could be that you want to pay attention to this archetype at play. You know, maybe it is that someone in your circle, so your circle of influence, either family, romance, you know, or business, are trying to sort of charm you and use their influence over you. They're in sort of a negative way, pressuring you towards certain decisions, maybe ultimatums, and that's been the conflict of the fives, you know, but you're overcoming this energy. And then we're coming into the two of crystals, and crystals is pentacles, so that's all about comfort, you know, the material world, so finances, material things. And the two is about being balanced and adaptable. So this is all about you finding balance. There's been a lot going on, you know, and a lot of conflicting ideas, like maybe with the shadow attribute of this, there are multiple things at play here, because it's more than romantic or familial to me. It's feeling like it's more than that, because this is a card with multitasking, with finding balance with multiple things. It could be multiple people, depending on the lifestyle that you live. You know, there could be multiple people at play. You could be in a committed union with someone, and maybe there are outsiders that are trying to influence that union in some way. Or maybe you or your partner or partners, you know, the people that you are in union with, have been under this influence. It's, you know, it's different for everybody, but there's definitely been some dampering. There's been some confusion with this Five of Crystals, and it's now time for this knight, whoever this is, you know, they're very focused, and they're very, you know, take charge. So if this is a person that's coming in and using the negative or the shadow attribute of either one of these cards here, of these archetypes, then you're going to be taking action. You're going to be calling it out, or you're going to be taking action that is more aligned with who you are, because however this has been playing out, it has not been in alignment with who you are as a spirit housed in, you know, a physical body, moving through as a human form in this life. It's not lining up with you. It's not making sense to you. And so you, with this night energy, you may be prompted to call that. And that's around finding the balance and feeling like multitasking, like you're being pulled in all different directions. It's time to find that balance. And then on top of that, you've got the Two of Feathers, and feathers is air. So that's Gemini, Libra, or Aquarius energy. And this is about decisions and directions. So you've got the 2 2s here, which are usually about beginnings, but they're also those master numbers, right? So this is all about, you are going to suss this out. You are going to adapt and find the balance with the Two of Crystals here, with whatever this situation is that's affecting your ascension. You know, you are going to adapt to this, and or you're going to stand your ground, make a decision, because this is about decisions and directions. You've got choices, right? With ideas, with the mental body. So you're going to make a decision, Sagittarius, that is going to have an effect on things moving forward, and it is going to guide the direction that you move forward in, you know, throughout this. So if this is the middle of the read right now, basically, so this might be kind of where you're at, or where you're sitting. And if not, then this is what's coming forward in the next cycle, and mid-range, this is what you might be faced with, right? Now we have some major arcana coming into play here. We've got the Chariot, and the Chariot is all about your own direction, movement, progress, integration, right? But you are guiding that Chariot. You are the one that is determined and disciplined. So we keep seeing these key words that are repeating. Now, this is a major arcana, which speaks to usually more major life events. And the Chariot is all about that quick direction, that being determined, being focused, going for it, you know, being driven here, and having the discipline to do that. So don't get caught up in the schmoozy, schmurpy, you know, whatever might be thrown at you here, and don't get yourself caught up in that. If this is your energy in either way, don't use that to achieve your goals, you know, because that will mess around with the alignment. That's not what's in the highest alignment for you as a spiritual being. And this is all about you integrating. This is all about you letting go of these triggers, letting go of these situations, using this beautiful balance of masculine, feminine, divine energy, you know, to your benefit from an authentic space, as well as everybody else's benefit, you know. And then ending this, we've got the Knight of Shells, which is charm and passion, and this is cups. So this is all about, you know, romantic, being adventurous, following your heart, using your charm and your passion. This is water energy. So this is Cancer, Scorpio, Pisces energy. So this could represent a Cancer, Scorpio, or a Pisces. This is the Knight. So this means that this is representing someone, because court cards often represent a person. So this is representing someone that is maybe somewhere between their mid-20s, mid-40s, and they're very passionate, romantic, you know, following, they follow their heart. It could be an offering of love here. So if this is authentic and this is you or your partner or whoever you're in union with, someone that is of importance in your life, if this is coming from an authentic space, this will genuinely open up the heart space even more and help you to align. If it's not, you know, if this is coming from that impulsive sort of energy of just charming you for the sake of the romance of it, then, you know, just be mindful of the agenda. If there's an agenda, and you'll know, like you'll sense that, if there's an agenda that's going on underneath or not, either from yourself or, you know, from your partner or partners, however your living situation is. Now, let's just take a look a little bit more and see with this discipline with the Chariot and the direction. Let's see where this is headed. Let's take a couple more tarot, just see where this is headed, and then we'll pull some final cards here. Because I'm curious to know, because this is very interesting that you got those two archetypes together like that. The deck is so big, it's been shuffled so much. So this is definitely around. Let's see about this Knight, and let's see about this Chariot energy in this direction. All right. Movement and progress. So this could also mean too, with it being the Chariot and the movement and progress, that within your romantic situation, it is going to take on a new direction, and that, holy smokes. Whew. All right. It could also be that you've got someone in your life, you know, your primary partner or partners, that you're going to be taking a new direction. Your relationship, your connection is shifting. The vibration of it is shifting, and that is bringing about the integration. That is bringing about that new direction, and it's reinvigorating the romance from the light attribute sense of these archetypes, because this Knight is all about romance. Then as I pulled the 3 clarifying cards to deal with these 2 right here, first one that comes out is the Hanged Man, major arcana, so major life event again. So this is all about how, you know, you've been patient. You've had patience with something, because this is coming near the end, you know, and you're gaining a new perspective. So you've been in this limbo space. You've been in this space of inaction. Maybe you've done a lot of introspection, because that's partially what the Hanged Man is about as well. It's about gaining perspective. You may be coming into a shift, or your primary partner may be coming into a shift in perspective around this whole situation, which is then, you know, it's through your own personal elevation that all of this is coming up, and that all of this is going to be, I don't know if resolved is the right word, but you're going to be able to move through this and let go of a lot of stuff that you've held on to for a very long time. Because after you've sat with the Hanged Man, you know, and you're coming out of that with a new perspective, you've got this new direction with the Chariot that's starting to go, then you've got Justice on top of that, which is yet another major arcana, number 11, which is a master number as well, and 12 and 7, okay. So Justice is the truth and the clarity. You know, that's about the balance. That's about fairness. That's about equality. So that's about one not having the power over the other. That's about one not using their, not using their wiles to get what they want, so to speak. It's about coming from a place of authenticity and integrity when it comes to your sensuality, your sexuality, your charm, your sense of self in that way, and using that energy appropriately, you know. And there's balance coming here. There's some justice that's going to be served because you've done the contemplation. You've sat like the Hanged Man, and now the Chariot's coming through and saying, okay, it's time to move forward. And you've got the twos, you know, bringing about that new direction, getting rid of that multitasking, finding the balance again. And then finally here, we've got the 10 of Crystals, stability and attainment. Crystals is Pentacles, and the 10 is all about emotional bliss, happiness and contentment. But in the position it was in, it was not upright. So that means that, to me, that you've been in a position where things have not been blissful, where there's really been some discord happening, and it's really hindered your ascension, but you're coming through this. And through this alignment, you're going to see things so much more clearly. And you may just, with your own shift in perspective, seeing through a different lens, you may just come to a space where, you know, that's enough. You see something for what it is from a whole new space now. And that's enough for you to clear the clutter emotionally and mentally, and to continue with your evolution and your ascension and alignment, you know, because this bliss is there. And Sagittarius, I want to say our last reading, we also had that 10 come up where there's that bliss to be had, but there's conflict that you're working through. So it's coming up again. So maybe this is a cycle in continuation. But this is a super powerful window right now to really be in tune with that and to make some gains with it. So let's get some feather energy here. And then we'll draw some crystal energy because Sagittarius, you're fire. Yep, no, we can do crystal for fire. So you have Chickadee. It's time. The time is right to release old patterns and energies. You are ready to embrace change. So there it is. Perfect. You can't get any more perfect than that. And I think we still will draw on our crystal energy, because crystals and stones, you know, they can be transmuted and changed through heat and fire, which is Sagittarius. That's the link I'm just going to stick to. So let's see what crystal advice we get. And please click like and subscribe, and to help me grow, I'd really appreciate that. Okay, so you have two things going on here. Shungite, detox your life. So this is a beautiful piece of shungite here. It's an absolutely lovely, very powerful stone. I've got it in bracelets as well. I use shungite all the time. It's a beautiful protector for EMFs, for those frequency waves, for your energetic space, you know, and it's a detoxer. So detoxing your life, it's time for that. And, you know, lining yourself up with this whole scenario appropriately, seeing it with a new perspective that really lines up with your divine feminine and masculine. And whether you're a male or a female, again, as I said, we each have a divine feminine and masculine. And part of that alignment of coming together as a fully integrated spiritual soul is that these two finally come together in harmony. So there's balance there, right? And it's not where the male figures are more masculine and the female figures are more feminine and never the two shall meet. That's not the point at all. The point is that we each have all of it, and it needs to be integrated within our individual selves, you know, as we express through human form. Then finally we have Jade here, which is be the bigger person. So this could be, you know, with all of this, don't be tempted to slide into things. Don't be tempted to lower your vibration, to engage with something or someone where there may not be a listening for it, where there may not be room. They may not be at the same level of ascension or the same place in the path that you are. Their triggers might be different. So just within this Hanged Man energy of sitting back, you know, and perspective, along with the balance of the twos coming and this new direction and decisions, you know, you may be asked to be the bigger person and to come to an understanding that the whoever this pertains to, whether it's one person or more than one person, or even just within yourself, to come to an understanding that there may be some dissonance between you and others, and it is what it is, you know, that's okay. And maybe for now, just do a holding pattern to know what you know, and there may be an opening for you to explore this in the future if it persists with you, if it's an archetype that keeps coming up. But for now, you may be asked to be that bigger person and to allow that, to allow your partner or your primary relationships to experience what they need to experience in order for them to grow as well, but keeping it from the mindset of you always have to act within your own sense of integrity and awareness. I'm not suggesting that you compromise that. That's not what I'm suggesting. But what I am suggesting is if it is something that you don't need to act upon right away, or it triggers a reactiveness in you, step back. Just step back, breathe, count, let yourself come to a different space, Sagittarius. Be that bigger person and don't get embroiled and don't get brought down to that ego level, because it's not going to serve you, and it's definitely not serving in your alignment, right? So you want to make sure to be aware of that, especially if the people that you're interacting with are vibrate slightly differently, or are at a lesser phase of enlightenment. And I'm not suggesting it's less important, I just mean less experienced. You know, if you are the one that has more wisdom, then you are the one that's tasked with using your wisdom in a way that perhaps the others can't at this time, and you will know what that means. So Sagittarius, you've got some really great things coming forward here in terms of this alignment, and with your 10, you know, the 10 of Pentacles, 10 of acorns, not acorns, sorry, crystals coming forward. You've got some great things. You've got lots of major arcana in here, major life events, changes that you are going to direct. Control your energy, you know, be mindful, be aware. So Sagittarius, those are your messages. Remember to live big and shine your light bright, because you definitely matter. Until next time.